What is up, bros? Me, Josh here, and today's video is about this awesome Chappy game we had yesterday when we were kind of grinding out some of the campaigns. And this game was kind of a heartbreaker, uh, but it really does show off the versatility and the insanity that the Chappy is. This is really one of my favorite tier 8 ships. If you guys played Destroyer or any ship last season and ranked, the Chappy was one of the ships I think most people hated. It was one of the things that needed to die first, and it is just a really dangerous weapon. Not only does this thing have a crazy rate of fire, it has a super long radar, it has a high fire chance, and really good range, as well as being really accurate. So this game we got pretty lucky. We were top tier. Two battleships and one cruiser. Luckily, their team only had a couple DDs, not too many to take care of, but with a radar ship, you can kind of take care of them relatively easily. So we decided to push decap. Now, in this kind of situation, top tier division, we really need to kind of keep the pressure on. If you are top tier, I mean, there's only so many other eights. There's only one, two, three other three eights other than us. So if they are pushing with us or something like that, as you can see, kind of the majority of the team is pushing decap with us. We really need to keep the pressure on, because if we don't move too far, then we will end up getting flanked, because we know a lot of the other low tier ships are going to be on the other side. So that means most likely their team will put a lot of pressure on that, and then we'll end up just getting flanked, and then we're screwed because we're getting, wrecked from basically two caps. So we decided to go decap. We spawned on this side. I see a lot of people when they play, especially this map or any map really with the cap battles, they're like, which cap are you going? Some people want to go all to the same cap, and that's not a good situation. You end up in kind of this ring around the rosy that is just like this ring around the rosy of death, where you really should try to defend your side. And honestly, being top tier with their team not having too many tier 8s as well, it's not the worst of taking like a division and completely holding off an entire side. Is as you can see on the map right now, we have a lot of our ships versus only a few of theirs. We have, I think, the Leanders on the corner. We know there's a destroyer that's now dead. Two battleships. The Leningrad it died from that division. We got a Nagato and a Miyoko. So we have basically almost all of our tier 8s versus only a couple of theirs. So, or none of theirs. So we really do need to kind of push, because we know that the 8s are on that side. We kind of had to get a little aggressive. I can't, as a cruiser, I just can't push into these battleships. But my battleships, as soon as we kind of called that out, as soon as we get around that corner, they start getting a bit more aggressive and kind of pushing into these guys. But it's really about map awareness, especially as a kind of a cruiser like that. As you can see right now, I'm just trying to rotate. This is something you'll see a lot that I'll do when I'm playing a cruiser that's a flamethrower like this. Rotate 5 fires. This thing is just absolute 6 fires. This thing is absolutely nasty. What you'll see me do a lot, though, is you'll see me shoot a target, light a fire, shoot a target, light a fire. Switch over and over and over. What I'm trying to do is I'm really trying to push the repair. I'm trying to force the repair. And as you can see, we've started to lose a couple ships on the other side. So that was, as you can see, the two battleships in my division, they're pushing straight down. One thing that kind of stinks is our Benson, which was our top tier destroyer, just YOLOs into a Leander. It really sucks to lose a ship as strong as the Benson to a tier 6 cruiser that he knew was there, and that he could, he's just trying to outgun. I don't know what he was trying to do, but it really stinks to lose a destroyer like that, completely a waste almost. So kind of some bad stuff going on. We're losing some ships pretty quick. I think we lost 2 of our 3 destroyers already. We lost the whole division on the other side. Not very good. So we need to keep the aggression on. And how do we do that? We hit the W key and we go forward. The Nagato we're burning down. I'm trying to take care of the biggest threats that are on this team. I mean, we're already at 7 fires, 30,000 damage. I'm trying to pick on these battleships with fire. Our battleships are trying to take out these cruisers. As you can see, the Kutuzov is a master target. If you guys ever see a Kutuzov, it's the equivalent of like a tier 8 Zhao, where if you see a Zhao and you get a shot on it, you need to take it because it's such a strong ship. So right here, I'm sticking with HE. AP is good in certain situations, but I know these guys don't have repair, so I really just kind of want to spread the damage out as much as I can. I got a battleship right there who's now on fire. I got the battleship right behind him that's potentially going to be on fire. I got a broad-sized cruiser. But I do have to be still cautious of where I am and where these other ships are, because I'm a cruiser. I can be one shot. I can be cruiser lifed in any second. So One, focus on ships. We take out that guy, switch to AP because this Kutuzov is pushing up. Luckily, this Kutuzov played this really poorly. He's shooting AP at a front on NorCal, which isn't going to get him too far in life. And Buttery unluckily takes a torpedo. Who knows if this would have ended up changing the end of the game. But lots of damage coming in on this Kutuzov. Isn't going to be that big of a deal. We do lose our Dunkirk to a Miyoko, which really stinks. Probably the Torps. But we got to keep pushing up, basically, and just kind of keep ahead of the push. As you can see, they have 4 ships rotating back. And this is when my division mate and I go, what's going to happen? What do you want us to do? So me, I'm a very, very effective cruiser. I can do a lot of damage to any ship I basically go against. And this Miyoko isn't that big of a threat. We're going to get some shots on him. I think he gets wrecked right there, yeah. And I'm not too worried about it. Switch to HE is not giving me the best angle. So I call out to my division mates to go back and defend. I have faith that those guys are good enough to take on 2, 3, 4 ships by themselves. This Miyoko's on fire, one more fire, and he's basically going to be dead. And I have faith in myself, one, taking out a Miyoko with 2,000 life, and I know the Leander is now pushing mid, so I don't have to worry about that, so there's not too much. So we need caps, we're down on points, we're down on ships. They're going to rotate back, and I'm going to keep pushing on. So I'm going to go on kind of the ring around the rosy, hope that maybe I can get a massive flank on these guys. Maybe I can get a destroyer that wants to get a little sneaky, because I can tell I'm still spotted, so there's something still out, and I didn't know what it was. We got pretty lucky that it ended up being their one Benson. I had no idea what was there, so I'm a Chappy, I'm a Russian cruiser, I use my radar, find out they had an AFK Benson the entire time, so it's kind of alright. We traded our Benson for their Benson. If you want to think about it that way, I'll be as optimistic as possible. But I'll take him down. Our other battleships, as you can see, are heading straight north, right here, so they're going to take on all those guys. You know, one of those things where it's focus on the cruisers, you know, do as much battleship to the battleships, do as much damage to the battleships as possible. Get good trades. That's what we need right now. You know, we need those 2-for-1s. If both of my battleships go 2-for-1, we're gonna win this game. So that's what we're trying to do right now for them. So I was like, you just do that. I'll cap this. I'll push a cap. It's no big deal. They got Turpits. That's kind of low. They got 2 Otagos, which are scary. The Leander is a pretty fragile ship. The Ancient, I don't know where he is. He's going to pop smoky. You can see him just right here. So their like whole team is right here. The only thing I didn't know where he was this Amagi. And this Amagi did a really good thing, like basically what our battleships did is our battleships are going to defend, and so is their Amagi, and he scares the living hell out of me because he didn't show up on my radar, he didn't show up on anything. So I had no idea. You know, we only have 1 DD left, and we had no vision. So I had no idea what was going to be around this corner until all of a sudden this massive tier 8 battleship peeks his head around. Now, my thought process was just continue around. If they're pushing that, then I have a really, really, really good chance of just completely flanking these guys. But there is a 100% full life Amagi right there. I was super, super nervous. I'm like, hopefully I don't take massive damage here. I thought that I was going to die. I thought this was game over for me. He repaired that fire, which ended up basically wrecking him, and this was not good. Now the Chappy, if you guys don't know, only has 4-kilometer torps. Luckily, plate tectonics put this massive island right here that really, really helped me out, and I had some good RNG in this situation, which kept me alive on this. So he doesn't have repair. I got pretty lucky right there. Only took like 3,600 damage, and he got really, really aggressive. So that fire is going to stick, which is good. He has 64,000 life right now, so he's going to burn out for about 10k, and he is an Amagi without camo. Luckily, he plays right into this. Kind of hindsight, I maybe wish I would have done this, but who knows if it would have ended up working out. A lot of people don't use this. A lot of people only use radar as an offensive play. Now, I use radar as like kind of a defensive play. I didn't know where this Amagi was. I didn't have a spot. I didn't have a plane. And luckily, this Amagi kept on a beautiful line for me and just took every one of these torps. So fantastic. I'm going to use this island to break line of sight and just not really worry about things. I'm not spotted. There's 1, 2, and 3. He takes massive flooding, 2 floods. That's a lot of damage. and I'm going to start capping this out right away. So I'm going to use this island to break line of sight so he doesn't have to worry about it. We have lost a couple ships, but we're only down 3 ships to 4. I'm pretty positive that I'm going to take out this Amagi, and I'm really hoping Bunch can actually um, do enough damage to at least like get one more trade. You know, if he takes out the last battleship or a cruiser or something like that, their battleship's pretty healthy. But maybe if he takes out that Leander, takes out the Anshan, you know, get a 2-for-1 or something like that, that would be awesome. So he's pretty low life compared to the NorCal or the Turpits, so he can't really push the Turpits. And here's the Amagi still sitting on it, still sitting on the flooding, which is pretty awesome. And like I said, I got very lucky for RNG right here. I got in a weird situation though that I couldn't actually turn too much. So I got kind of unlucky, set another fire on him, which is awesome. He's currently repairing, so I can't do much damage to him. But he did what a lot of battleships will do in certain situations, is they start to freak out and really focus on turns and not still keeping, you know, their eye kind of on the prize, where he could have got a really good broadside on me. But unluckily, our New Orleans with 830 life decided that his best play was not to run to the corner, but was to push Namagi with 10,000 life, and he ends up getting taken out for it. So this is where it is almost me against the world. We have Bunch on the other side going down to the Turpich, which really stinks. But I have no faith that this New Orleans can dodge every shell and play well enough to do it. I take him down, shells are in the air, down goes the New Orleans. So I am the final hope. Now what do I do? It's 1 versus 3. Their destroyer is last seen heading south. Are they going to go to B cap? Are they going to go down to C cap? We control 2, they're capping D. So this is where I kind of talked to my division mates saying, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I thought about going to B cap, but I really need to isolate the 2 weak ships. It's going to be really hard for me to kind of just 1v1 a Turpits. You know, rock paper scissors battleships are going to beat a cruiser the majority of the time. Now I can beat him with the Chappy if I have distance and have vision, but they have a DD and a cruiser, and we need points. So I need to get at least 2 more kills and stay alive and defend our caps. So I could have easily gone to B cap, but I figured the Anshan was low. I do have radar. Maybe I pop a quick radar, get the kill on him, and then maybe push up to B cap. So my thought process is go down to C, take out the destroyer, push up the B, potentially get the Leander when he's going there, and then cap B. That's my thought process. So I go down, and I hope the Turpits is just too slow that he's just out of the fight for the next 5 minutes, which isn't very likely, but you gotta kind of hope on it. That's the play I'm thinking. Go down to C cap, get this destroyer. I have radar. I have two charges left. And then hopefully get lucky enough, roll to B cap unspotted, take out the Leander, and then you win off 3 caps. That's my plan right here. So I was really hoping that, you know, the Bismarck was relatively far north. Luckily, we still had that plane right there. So even in death, that New Orleans was still kind of effective. His plane actually spotted that guy, so it worked out perfectly. And with the Chappy being super accurate, and the Anshan having a relatively low amount of life with only 5k, I had faith that I could hit these shots. All I need to do is hit a couple salvos on him, and he's going to go down. So the first salvo was all right. He makes him turn broadside, and the Chappy is basically a machine. I pop sonar or radar right here. Oh no, I don't actually. I take it right there. So that's an amazing shot actually. So there's Kraken, there's Confederate. We take down the 5th ship for us, and so I'm getting kind of, all right, the plan's kind of going as I wanted it to. We took down the DD, so they're not going to cap on us. I just don't know where the other ships are. In my head, I see the Leander spotted by the island in the top right, so I figured he's just going to go to the corner, which I kind of wish our New Orleans would have done. I wish our New Orleans would have just went out and hung out on J line. He'd still be alive, we'd be up on points, and we would win this game. So I'm sticking to my plan though. I'm going to C cap. I'm going to push up the channel, hopefully kill him. But I had no idea where these guys were. They hadn't been spotted for a few minutes now, and you know, ships can move relatively easily. So what I figured I'd do is get really, really close to the opening of the channel right here and radar. I have, I think, 11.6, 11.7 kilometer range. I'm going to spot them if they're hugging the island. So I'm hoping that the Tirpitz is on my right on D, hopefully relatively close, still about maybe halfway through decap. And I hope the Leander's north on B. But this is when I got super nervous because I thought the Tirpitz was right there. I was like, he's going to round the corner. I'm screwed. This sucks. But this was the massive confusion. They completely turned around the other way. So, do I go decap? I'm not going to be fast enough. There's no way. If I go decap, we lose. We just don't cap fast enough. I need to kill the Leander, and I need to kill the Tirpitz. That's just... I need to kill the Leander, and then let the Tirpitz not kill me, basically. That's the plan. So, what did I do? I'm going to risk everything and hope that the Tirpitz is bad for the last bit of the game, and I hope that maybe he gets greedy or something like that. I gotta kill Leander. We just don't win if I don't kill Leander. So I decided to go aggressive, go into A cap, and defend it because he's capping it right now. If I go to D cap, we just don't make it there in time. So Leander's low. I push into A cap, and we'll try to get the last little kill. If we do that, if we get that kill, it's gonna be really, 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 really close in points. Now we have to hold the cap, so it's kind of unlikely, but that's what I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna have to hedge my bets. And luckily, this Leander gets really aggressive, and even more luckily, the Tirpitz goes kind of for a hero move, which I think in majority of situations wouldn't have worked, but in this game it was kind of different. So I do have one more charge of radar, which is really good. It kind of gets me a chance to kind of find out where they are. But this Leander went super aggressive. I have no idea why. I'm a radar ship. He's a Royal Navy cruiser, which means I can see him when he tries to go invisible, and he's very, very fragile. So not only does he do that, he completely pushes out of his smoke, which means he laid the smoke because he was going really slow, and then he went forward. So he really kind of screwed himself. We dunk on him broadside. He's saying, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Let me go backwards. And there it is. So we are up. We've kind of done everything that we needed to do right now. I shot down the plane too, so the Tirpitz's plane is dead. So we have done everything. I've almost gone to plan, except I'm not on VCAP. I've killed the low 2 ships, and the Bismarck, or the Tirpitz is it. Now I have no idea where he is. I have no idea where this Tirpitz is. He didn't stay on A cap, and he didn't go with that Leander to the A cap. So I know that. I pop radar, and this is when it's just, what do I do? This guy played pretty decent the entire game, and this is when I just gotta hope things go right. It's, do I charge him? Do I, do this? So I'm looking at the score right now, and I'm trying to do the quick math in my head. Now, battleships aren't super fast, but he is super close. And I'm thinking, I can't charge him. He has torp, so that means if I charge this guy, I can't take a torp. I can't take a massive hit, so I'm going to plunk myself right in this corner, hope for the best. We only need 2 or 3 more ticks, and unluckily enough, he does pop on the cap just in time. It's a GG's in chat. It was such a bummer to lose this game. If he takes a little extra time to go through it, then we 100% win that game. If that New Orleans goes and hides, or if that Amagi doesn't hit that, we win the game. It's just, so many things could have changed, and I don't like to put up losses, but that was such a good game. You can only carry so much, and it was a blast to play. I love being in those situations, and it was like a what do we do situation. A blast, guys. 160,000 damage. That ship is so good. If you guys haven't really played the Russian line of cruisers, it is so much fun, and that really showed it. So hope you guys enjoyed it. 6 kills. You can only carry so much. It was a good defeat. It was a good game. Hope you liked that video, guys. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.